Hi. Okay, so I am totally live streaming right now, very excitedly, but slowly getting started because I have to put this code in. And so give me just 1 second and then we're going to get started. Okay, let's see. So, hi. We're doing, oh, wait, hold on. This is supposed to be turned around. You're looking at my, okay, hi, here I am. Oh, God, what in the world? Hi, so friends, live streaming, and really excited to be doing it because there's so much wonderful stuff happening in the world right now. Like, I know I sound crazy saying it's wonderful, but the fact is I'm living in this mindset of spirit is real and spirit is trying to communicate to us on a global level. And I want to know what that message is, man. I want to know what spirit wants to tell us. And I'm really, really, really excited to be witnessing it, living right now, and talking to spirit and talking to you. So I'm Crystalline Bell, and I am going to be doing I'm going to be doing readings for you. If you want a tarot reading or an intuitive reading, you can type in your question. Um, if you want to know something in particular about astrology or what's happening with the stars right now, I'll do my best to tune in and give you an answer that's going to be helpful to you. But before we do that, I'm going to talk to you about the end of the astrological year, which is happening now. We are in the midst of the astrological year. Now, isn't it interesting how when Pisces first started, so when the sun moved into Pisces back in February 20th, okay, sun moved into Pisces, or no, around February 18th, I had this feeling of needing to purify and needing to release things that aren't serving me. So I created the Forgive Yourself and Reset 30-day challenge, right? A lot of you all are doing the challenge. You know that we're going through and we're looking at all the different life sectors, and we're doing a practice of healing and forgiving so that we could end this astrological year with a clean, kind of purified state, a state of our energy, having healed some important things that were not working for us over the last year. Well, right now we have this coronavirus that has rapidly spread around the world. And what it's doing with a lot of people is creating a sense of fear and a kind of hysteria. And I want to first of all acknowledge that that experience of fear feels really, really real. And that's important because when you're experiencing fear, number one, the last thing you want to be told is that your fear is not real and that you should stop panicking. Nobody wants to hear that when they're terrified. What they need to feel is safe and secure, and they need something that's going to help them ground in a sense of control for themselves, right? Now, the problem is that we are tending to go to the news for our news, and we're putting our hope into the government and into the president to make decisions for us so that that are hopefully in our best interest. This is the normal human thing to do. What I want to do as your spiritual life coach is to say, yeah, do all those things. And before you do all those things, please check in with yourself. Please tune in to the truth of who you are right now more than ever, because everything that you know is kind of being threatened right now by what you're hearing through the news. Okay, what you know is being threatened by what you're hearing through the news. So you're invested in the news, you're invested in the government, you're invested in the world and the material world. And so the channel that you use, the news, to give you information is feeding you information that's causing fear to rise in you. Totally makes sense. The thing is, the more you invest your hope and your security in the news and in the government, the more you're losing touch with your inner world. So, what I want you to do right now, while the times are a little scary, is to say, okay, watch the news because that helps you feel safe, but find your real safety inside. I want you now to be praying, meditating, talking to your spirit guides, um, connecting with spiritual communities so that, and spiritual communities that empower you, not spiritual communities that empower themselves by telling you that they have the answer. So I'm your spiritual life coach, but my job as your coach is to empower you to remember the truth of who you are. Your relationship with God is your first source of power. So, in my opinion, this coronavirus is not about scaring the shit out of you. And it certainly isn't about punishing you. And it's not even about getting you to wash your hands. Those things are all important. But the primary thing that I feel the coronavirus is getting us to do is to take the opportunity to come back home. It's making us isolate, right? Self-isolation is what everyone's saying to do. So self-isolating says go home, go home. Home is where the heart is. Home is inside yourself. It's in this portal between the higher realms and the earthly realms. It's in your heart. So taking care of your heart is really important physically, but also emotionally. Nurturing yourself with a lot of good messages, hopping on YouTube and listening to your teachers, your spiritual teachers, filling your day. Like for every 10 minutes you watch of the news, watch 20 minutes of your favorite guru. For every 10 minutes that you sit down paranoid, freaking out, talking to your friends about how freaked out you guys are, and the freaked outness, talking to your friends is really important, but you also need to come back home and talk to your soul. Okay, so talking to your soul, talking to God, praying. And for every 10 minutes that you're in fear with your friends about what's happening, I want you to spend 20 minutes in contemplation with source energy, with Goddess, source of all, with your soul, with your higher self, praying to remember who you are. You don't have to pray for an outcome. The only outcome you have to pray for is to remember as often as you can your divinity, so that no matter what news comes to you, no matter what situations you face, maybe you'll find yourself or someone you know and love who has contracted this virus. Knowing the right way to behave will come first from your connection to source energy, and it can be informed by the news, or it can be heightened by the news, or guided by the news. But first, it should come from you. Okay, so that's my opening bit. Hi. I'm going to just check in and see if anyone's on with me right now. If you have questions or you want a reading, please be sure to type in your questions, okay? Hold on, actually. All right, so I see I've got a few people here. Hi, everyone. Good morning. There's Nancy, there's Emily, there's Nancy, there's Dakota, there's Andre. Hi, Andre, and Igor. Hey, everybody. And good morning from California. So I'm feeling really, really excited right now because I am really tuned in energetically and spiritually. I'm listening to the world, right? I'm watching. I'm in California still. I'm not at home in Italy, and I'm not sure when I'll go back. Although this morning I got this very strong impulse that I'll be going back in about a month, like a very strong intuition that I need a month to still be here. Then I can go back. But I'm open. What Spirit keeps reminding me is that there's a time when you feel like you are in control of your life, and there's a time when you won't feel like you're in control of your life. And how you behave during those times is what is going to be determining your strength of character. I think it's Martin Luther King who says, or who said, the marker of a man is not where he stands in times of peace, but where he stands in times of trouble. So when trouble rises, when the shit hits the fan, that is how you determine whether or not you're a good person. Because when the trouble hits, it's easy to be nice when you're peaceful. It's easy to be nice when there's no threat. But when there's a threat, that's when people resort to fear, hysteria, and the trappings that go along with those things. My message is that while this time is scary, at the same time we're measuring, to be safe, we're doing the things to be safe in the physical world, we also need to remember to, number one, be appreciative of what we have right now. We have shelter today. We have food today. We have water today. We have electricity today. We have internet today. We have our loved ones today. You have to look around and force your mind to acknowledge what is working for you right now. It's going to be too easy to slip into darkness. It's going to be too easy to slip into anger, resentment, fear. I cannot believe that I read on President Trump's Twitter feed that he called this virus the Chinese virus. I was horrified. I was so shocked. It was so crazy to see that, It's like naming this thing at this time, saying those words was such an unkind thing to say. And I know that the justification was that, he's trying to blah, 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 but I just can't see. That's just a very nasty thing to put on Chinese people. The Chinese Americans that are in my community, I just can't imagine trying to link these two at this time. I don't care if it began in China. That was the first instance we knew about it, that the media talked about it, that it came to our awareness. But that doesn't mean that that's where it originated. How come we don't know? It could have originated in Italy, Italy came up with a lot of things there, a lot of sickness there shortly after. But we don't know. We don't know. So it's that irresponsibility that we have to be careful of. And when we tune into spirit, when we tune into unconditional love, we won't make those kinds of choices where we're making the choice to alienate another so that we don't have to take responsibility for our own well-being. That to me is the scariest part of this situation. And it's also something that I don't have control over. I don't have any control over what President Trump does, but I do have control over me and what I put out to the world, which is why I'm live streaming today. I always live stream on Wednesdays, but I'm talking about the coronavirus right now. And I haven't really mentioned enough about astrology, so I'm going to go talk about astrology right now, okay? But I'm just saying that for me, the message that I want to give you and to share with my community is you have all the resources you need within. You just have to practice listening, and you have to practice remembering that God is here for you all the time. God is never far away, like it's not out there, it's here all the time. What you choose to focus on is how you connect or not connect with God, Goddess, source of all. Okay? I'm going to stop talking. All right? I'm going to see if you want a reading. If you want a reading, type it in. Now I'm going to talk to you about astrology. So it's the sun in Pisces for another. Today is the 18th. Oh, it's my cousin's birthday today. Happy birthday, Kristen. She's I guess she's maybe 22. I don't know how old she is. No, she's not 22. She's got to be 20 or 21. She might be 21. Oh, okay, sorry, I don't know how old you are exactly. This is what happens when you get old. All of youth just runs into one another. All of youth becomes just one big ball of youth. All right, just one big ball of beauty, firm skin, high boobs, high booty, and charm. Young people, they're so blessed. When I was young, I had no idea of how blessed I was. This is why I have to think of myself as 50, think of myself not as old, just appreciate being 50. I'm 50, okay? Happy birthday, Kristen. Anyway, so it's Sun in Pisces. The Sun in Pisces is about really about fear. What is in your subconscious mind comes forward for you to heal and repair. This is another reason why I think it's really amazing how the coronavirus, I'm back to talking about the coronavirus, but it's interesting how the coronavirus has really spread, or I want to say not spread, because I think it's probably been here a lot more than we've known, but we're acknowledging it, we're becoming aware of it all around the world globally while the sun is in Pisces. And what this is helping me kind of see is that as this astrological year is ending, so is our relationship with exclusion. So is our relationship with isolation from the rest of the world. The world now has a common unifier. Notice I'm really trying to avoid saying enemy, like coronavirus is the enemy. I can't see the coronavirus as an enemy, because to me, it's an opportunity for us to all come together. So it feels like it's a way to unite the world, to help us look at one another, to reach out to one another. Look, I know we're closing off our borders to one another right now, but I think we need to close off our borders to one another, like on the country level, and also in our homes. We're kind of isolating ourselves in. We have to do that, because inside of us is where all of our power is, and everything that needs to be healed is inside of us. and taking the time right now to go inside and to listen, right? To listen as an individual, to listen as a household, and to listen as a community, to listen as a state, to listen as a country. We need to do that on all these levels. And Sun in Pisces is the perfect time to do that. The Sun in Pisces, though, ends on March 20th when the Sun moves into Aries. And the Sun in Aries is going to be about getting out, okay? So this is where things are going to start to, be a challenge. So the next couple days, so here's how we're going to work this week, all right? The next 2 or 3 days, I want y'all really inside, doing your meditation, talking to God, journaling, writing down everything that's bothering you, all your fears, all your doubts, your worries. You're concerned about money, you're concerned about childcare, you're concerned about your parents, your grandparents, you're concerned about food, you're concerned about survival. Write it all down. Get it out of your mind and onto paper. I don't care if you fill up a whole notebook. Get it out. Write down everything that bugs you. Better out than in. Get it out. Okay? And then what we're going to do is call in your spirit guides, whether it's God, goddess, whoever you pray to, call upon the big one to come in and be by your side and look at your list of things that scare you. Okay? God, I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that, blah, blah, blah. Talk to God about it. And then focus not on what you want to manifest in the material world, not yet. Focus first on finding a safe place within yourself, a philosophy that you can feel into that'll help your mind, a feeling that feels safe for you, that's going to help your heart, a connection with your spirit guides, that's going to help your soul. Okay. So finding that inner safety first, then you can start thinking about what it is you need in the material world. Okay. All right. That's really all I feel like I have to say. So if you'd like a reading, go ahead, type your message in. I'm happy to read for you. And let's see. Oh, let's see. Good morning, Nancy, again. There's Ms. Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Ms. Lucy 434 sent a request to be in your live video. Okay. Is that what you want to do, Lucy? If that's what you want to do, then tell me yes. Hi, Sarah. Oh, hey, darling. How are you? Where are you? Are you on still? Send me a message if you do. Type in a message if you want to chat with me. And Lucy, if you're wanting to come on live to chat with me, I'm more than happy to have you, but I want to make sure that that's actually what you want to do. All right. So it looks like that is going to be basically it for me for today. No particular reading. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a general reading for us. And let's see. Oops, my bad here. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to do a general reading for us. And the question that I'm asking Spirit is, the question that I'm asking Spirit is, beloved Spirit, if you have a message that you want to give us as a whole, right now as we're dealing with uncertainty, that's the word that keeps coming up for me, uncertainty. Spirit, as we are dealing with uncertainty here from the human perspective, what is the message you would like for us to know? Whatever is important for us to think about or consider, please give us the answer here. All right, so I've pulled the Ten of Wands. And if you know anything, about tarot, you'll know that the Ten of Wands is about carrying a big burden, being strong enough to carry a big burden, but kind of taking on way too much. So as I'm tuning in and listening, I think that Spirit is saying that we've taken on a lot in our lives. We do a lot. We're trying to build things. We're trying to keep up. We're trying to help our kids do things. We're trying to help our families do things. We're constantly running, running, running. Ten of Wands is about, wands are about fire, about activity, about energy, about taking on stuff, doing stuff, right? So the message that I'm getting from Spirit is that right now, as we're thinking about the coronavirus, as we're thinking about this uncertainty, the place to start is to look at and maybe even to categorize and to itemize all of our responsibilities, to just write them down. By writing down the things that we're responsible for, it's going to help us see visually what we're responsible for. And it's going to help us maybe create a level of organization and security within ourselves, right? So for example, I might write down that I am responsible for, I've got to pay these bills, right? So I make a list of all the bills that need to be paid. And I have these upcoming sessions that I have to do. So I make a list of all those sessions. And then I have these appointments that need to be changed around. So I write all those things down. And what I'm even feeling as I'm sitting here right now, just making these categories and kind of putting things out, I realize that I actually am feeling, just even in this moment, a little bit more like in control and like, actually, yes, I do need to write down. I need to revisit my budget. I already have a budget. All my stuff is already written down. All my bills and stuff are already written down. I have a calendar, but I haven't gone back to my calendar and added the new bills, the new apartment bills. I haven't added all that in. It's just in my mind. So by adding in those things, obviously, we're all going through financial changes because a lot of people are not going to work. And so writing down your new hours, writing down your new schedule, writing down, okay, you're out of work, you're going to not be having so much money in, you need to reevaluate. So you write down the new bills, you maybe make a list of creditors that you might need a little more time to make a payment. So you make a list to call those creditors and say, hey, I'm not going to be able to pay this until this time, right? But at least by writing all that stuff down, you've actually created a dialogue and energy in the universe where you're taking responsibility for the things that you have to do. And the universe must respond to you affirmatively by affirming your good action. The universe must also affirm that positive action that you're taking, okay? You might also, you've got your kids at home, your kids at home, so you've got to get their schedules written down. All that stuff has to happen, okay? Write it down. Now, we're all in a pickle, so we have to demand of our creditors that they give us a little leeway, okay? And so we got to make those phone calls, and we need our creditors to listen to us, like even for your regular monthly credit card statement, like I normally try to pay off all my stuff right away in cash, but I'm going to rethink this and I'm going to see if I can maybe it's smart for me after I look at my budget. Maybe it's better to not pay everything off in cash. Maybe it's better for me to carry a little credit right now for, maybe 2 or 3 months even, or you have to figure out what's right for you, just looking at your budget to make adjustments with your schedule of things. okay, well, nobody's doing things now, right? Because you're indoors. But if you're like me and you work from home, the work goes on, right? So maybe it's going to be about figuring out how to rearrange my client schedule, because I'm going to have to also make room for all these other things I've got to do, right? So just looking at your schedule, writing things down to figure out how you can be more efficient with your timing, okay? Other responsibilities that you have are to yourself, right? Now, I personally feel like spending time with your spiritual self is the most important thing you can do. So I put spirit at the first, as the very first thing I do and the very last thing I do every day. My day begins with meditation and what I call my daily practice. So meditation, shadow work, journaling, that's at the beginning of my day before I do anything. I just wake up, I sit up in bed, and I immediately start my meditation. I don't don't even go to the bathroom. I'm like, look, I'm up. Just let me not let anything interfere with getting connected to spirit. Okay. And at the end of the day, I wind down. So I make my way. I start dialoguing with spirit as I make my way to bed, and then I say my prayers once I'm in bed and all that kind of thing. Okay. All right. So that, I believe, is the message for spirit, to look at all the places where you're overextended and to create space for spirit. Take care of your business in a very practical way. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because you deserve help. We all do. And we all need to be prepared to listen and to do what we can for one another so that we can actually all survive, thrive, so that we can thrive inside and out. All right. So, all right. So just checking in. Ms. Lucy says, oh, sorry. She's like, no, I don't want to come on. I know. Look, Ms. Lucy, you're not the first person that's happened to, which is why I didn't just sign you up to come on. People are like, that kind of just popped up. I didn't know what to do with it. It's an accident. So no problem. All right. And like, hi. Oh, hey, Kim. Nice to see you. And Emily says, love this. It's such a great exercise to do. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. And all right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I will be here broadcasting again next Wednesday at the same time, but I'm also going to just be doing some more live streams because I'm just feeling like I gotta share what's on my mind. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off, saying bye for now, lovelies. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. Uh-oh. Yes, that's how we end it. Bye.